Let's go to Victoria now. Now, marathon pay dispute. This has been going on for, if not months, more than years, between the state's police force and the government. Now, it looks set to culminate in what's been described as the first police walkout in 25 years. Now, having listened to the Police Association boss on radio today, I'm not sure this means that police officers are going to walk out of the police station and go home. Senior officers claim that finances are so dire they can't properly resource police stations, let alone afford huge wage rises. So the Police Association, as I said, is seeking annual pay increases of 6% for its members. That would be a cost of around $840 million to the Victorian taxpayer. Now, the dispute has the entire force in tatters. It's split, actually. There will still be some officers working tomorrow, and they're even being disgracefully labelled as scabs. The Chief Commissioner, Shane Patton, others are attacking the association boss, Wayne Gatt, and other officers are, as I said, turning on each other. For more on this, we're joined by Victoria Shadow Police Minister Brad Batten. Brad, why can't the government sort this out? Why are they leaving it for Force Command and the Police Association to do the negotiating?
Yeah, good evening, Steve. First of all, exactly what you said, why can't the government do it? The government can't do it because they're broke. They're signing up to contracts that they can't afford, and that money has to come from somewhere. We've asked questions in Parliament this week. We were saying the $840 million deal could be paid 41 times based just on the contracts they've signed up for the suburban rail loop recently if they would effectively fund our Victoria Police Force. We know that the deal needs to be done. Shane Patton, whilst there's issues there, is trying to work with one hand tied behind his back when the government's saying to him, you've got to cut your budget, cut your operational budget, at the same time increase wages. I think it's an unfair deal. And the people that are missing out are the Victoria Police on the front line who are working so hard to protect us, including just this week where we saw they were shot at in Victoria and went in and rescued a man and his toddler in a hostage situation. They're out there doing the dangerous job, Steve. We should be rewarding them.
Given we're in the middle of a youth crime crisis, given we're in the middle of a tobacco shop being ram-raided and burnt to the ground every night, some of them being attacked twice in the same night, you've got 15, 16, 13-year-olds stealing cars of people's homes, wouldn't the government be better off making that a priority to fund their police force, give us enough police on the roads, rather than, as you said, tipping money into projects that they seem to be absolutely besotted with, like the suburban rail loop?
Yeah. If the Victorian government were smart and they actually funded what they needed for the Victoria Police to get a fair day's pay, then we could actually focus on then recruiting new police here in Victoria. We've got over 1,000 vacancies on rosters. So some of the things you've mentioned then, when we talk about aggravated burglaries and youth crime, we've actually in Victoria gone from a decade ago where an aggravated burglary was committed by a young offender once every 3 days. That is now 3.5 every day. That's because the entire justice system is failing. The Victoria Police don't have the resources to do what they need to do to keep the community safe. And when they walk off the job this week, which we're seeing as of effectively tomorrow, it's half-hour stoppages. But I'll tell you now, I know most of them, or a lot of Victoria Police, who would actively, even in the middle of a stop work meeting, having a discussion about their pay and conditions. If someone calls 000, they will respond. It's built into them. They will go out and ensure the community is safe. That is their priority. But they've got to send a message to the government. So the first time in 25 years, we're going to start to see tomorrow Victoria Police walking off the job at the Academy and at Broadmeadows. And this is going to continue until the government come to the table and negotiate a fair wage deal and not send it to Fair Work, which they've done recently, just so they can try and stop the industrial action and silence Victoria Police officers. That's a disgrace from the Jacinta Allen government.
The wage issue is one. The other issue is recruitment. How stretched is the force and how overworked are some of those middle-ranking police officers, senior sergeants, constables, those doing the hard work on the cars on patrol?
Yeah. When I was in the job back in 2001 to 2007, Steve, if you had one or two jobs at the end of a shift to pass on to the next van, so if you're on night shift passing on to morning, you might pass on one or two a shift. These guys are passing on now, 10, 20 jobs at the end of each shift. The guys and girls out there working for us so hard have had the extra pressure because they haven't got the resources. And to add salt to the wound, When I was walking down here tonight, Steve, I went past a tram. I caught a tram down from the Parliament to your studio. When I hopped on that tram, the advertisement on the outside of a government-funded Melbourne tram is a sign to say recruitment for the Queensland Police. We are going to see more people leave and go across the border from the Victoria Police. We're going to lose more experience because New South Wales have managed to sit down with their police association and their frontline members and make a deal. Queensland have put things in place to ensure that their police members are paid fairly. And in 4 years' time, Victoria Police will be paid $25,000 less than the New South Wales counterparts. Why would they stay? We need to keep that experience or our crime is going to get a hell of a lot worse here in our state unless something is done by the Allen Labor government urgently.